When I was 7 years old, I was playing on a tractor and got stung by a bumblebee for the first time. I saw its body fall to the ground because bumblebees always die right after they sting. Last week, I was sitting on my back porch with my dog, and this giant bee came from underneath the stairs, and I swatted that thing right out of the air, y'all. I saw its body fall, too. I found out later it was actually a carpenter bee. They're harmless. They don't even have a stinger. And immediately, there's a poem begging me to write myself as the cop and a bee as another unarmed child. But wouldn't that be humanizing the cop and animalizing the victim? And haven't we seen enough of that already? And haven't I already written that poem? So in this poem, the bee is just a bee, even if I swore it had a gun, even if the mother swears the boy had wings, even if the hood swears the bee boy, bee fly. See how pliable sight can be? How with enough effort, one thing can become another thing, like how justice can become a doomsday or a holiday, depending on who gets off. The activist says, say their names or no one else will, but the poet in me says, don't you dare build a score off a deconstructed name, and I won't, because I know how pliable a name can be, meaning with enough effort, it can become my son's name, my daughter's name. It could become mine one day, and I know how dangerous a name can be. The 10 o'clock news said a name 3 times, and a civil rights organizer disappeared a year later. A name protested on film, and we all watched the body camera give up the ghost. A name is a mouthful of pollen. A name is a trending body breakdancing across my news feed. And how do you say the name? Do you say it like a mother calling her child home? Or do you say it like a perfect score at a poetry slam? This is where we feel conflicted, right? Where a poet that we like says the name of a deceased person they are not actually connected to, even though that person is actually somebody's mother or son or friend. Where is the line between social responsibility and dramatic effect? Last week I felt guilty for reacting to a bee based on perception. The bee couldn't educate me. It was my job to educate myself. When I was 7, I saw the bee fall to the ground, but I didn't kill it. I mean, it's dead because of me, but it did sting first, right? See, the boy just had bright eyes and a curious mind, like most carpenter boys who die without ever using the stinger that they don't even have. But like I said, sight is pliable. A person can see what they want to see. Can you see now? Why we sacrifice animals and insects in our poems just to show the value of a real human life. Can you see? Can you see how the burden of proof always denies the body of evidence? And isn't the body supposed to be the evidence? If the carpenter gives up his life, is there redemption for those who choose to refuse the lane on that falling body? The bee was just a bee, but the boy, his was the name we feared to say because of how quickly it can become something different in the mouth of a mother, like boy, fly, home, the soft, pliable name that can become joy, or grief, or buzzworthy, depending on who gets off.